everyone, Vonda here. It's good to be with you today. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Y'all, I'm not here to minister to the emailers today. However, I am here to bring your hearts some more clarification on the details of what is going to happen in California and on the East Coast when, don't get too excited, it's not a lot of details, but it's something. When North Korea attacks us, okay? If you want to hear more about those attacks and the details that God gave me about that, you have to go back on my page. I'm not going to go over that whole thing again, okay? But so anyway, I just want to ask y'all to forgive me. I have no pep in my step. I am extremely drained and tired. I have 2 new classes that are starting today online, 8-week classes, plus the one I'm on campus, and I'm trying really hard to stay off of social media right now, other than approving your comments or disapproving of them, and just trying to detox from the phone beeping constantly, and just trying to really, just stay focused here and trying to listen to the Lord. And I wanted to get you these messages before I get too busy with school, so I really feel a need to share this with you today, okay? If you guys have been emailing me and I'm not answering, I'm just not even looking at messages right now, so I just appreciate and thank you for your grace. Just drained, y'all, drained. But I do have some strength right now to share this with you, but you gotta forgive me because I'm not going to be as peppy as I normally am, okay? Alright, when I was praying about the timing of North Korea's attack on America, whether it's 2016, 2017, God gave me a vision, and I'm going to share the vision with you and what my interpretation is. And then He appeared to confirm it in another vision later of similar sorts, but even gave me more visions. So I'm going to say a lot of things here, and He's actually showed me the different types of water styles and where, so just be patient and just hold tight, and I'll try to explain things to you as I go, okay? Because I have several notes here, okay? Alright, so I told you guys that I was going to try to pray and get a time. You may not know it or not, but I actually have a whole section in my book on how God speaks through time frames in visions and dreams, and so you can get this on VondaKBrewer.com. It's called Dream Quest, Dream Interpretation, 8 Easy Steps. And so what I'm going to say to you might sound a little weird, but there's a lot of teaching on how God can relay weird time frames. God's often used times of day with me to represent months. I'll give you an example. I had this dream that my husband told me something, and he said it was 9/18. Well, exactly September the 18th, God was telling me a time. And so he used 9/18, 9 o'clock in the morning, 18 to represent September 18th. And so this is not new to me that God does this, okay? So it may not be good enough for you, but I'm just doing my best over here. So I would much prefer it if God would just give me a vision of like a newspaper of the future that just gives like details, like so-and-so won the presidency and by a landslide, or just give me the, just give me the headlines that way. Just let me see a newspaper with it being reported, but He doesn't do that. For some reason, He likes for me to jump through hoops. But anyway, alright, so as I was saying that God's often used months or times of day to represent months. So God gave me a vision of a time of day. He showed me a vision when I was praying about when North Korea would attack us, if He could give me any more information. He gave me a vision, or when this would happen, or when we should be concerned, or, whatever. When is this referring to? He gave me a vision of our local mall. And in the vision, the mall was closed. And it looked like it had been closed for a little while. And in the vision, I see this car, like it kind of maybe cut through the ring road, and it was kind of coming, it was turning to leave. And So I said, God, I said, are you saying locally here, sometimes our mall will close in the wintertime at 9:30, sometimes 10, many times 10 o'clock, and then maybe in Christmas time or holidays it might, stay open till 10:30. So I said, God, are you saying that October? I really wish you could confirm this. So we have a car leaving. So I'm praying about, when we, need to get out of Dodge, you know what I'm saying, to miss the coastal flooding on the West Coast as far as, and it's going to happen on the West Coast first and then the East Coast after. How long after, I don't know, but I was specifically praying about the West Coast here right now. I said, are you saying October is when people need to start concerning themselves to be, preparing to leave? Because I saw the car leaving. But I knew the mall, it was very, very dark outside. There were no employees' cars in the parking lot in the vision. It looked like it had been closed maybe for, a couple of hours. But I didn't see a clock or anything. I'm just assuming based on the way the vision looked, okay? And so I believe God is saying, since I know the mall closes at 10 o'clock on a regular scale, I believe He's saying from October, up until October will be safe. And October, and I'm believing it's for this year. Did God give me a date on a calendar that said 2016, 2017? No. It could be 2017 or 2018. I don't know. But I'm believing it has to happen while Obama is in office, and we won't know if the elections are suspended or canceled until this year. So if North Korea heats up things with us, it could be a reason for our president to decide that he wants to hang around a little bit longer. I don't know. But I do know that the mall closes at 10 o'clock, and that's when I think we need to be alert. So I think you be safe and enjoy yourself up until October, okay? Now, what do I suggest? I suggest maybe preparing from October on, maybe all through the winter, to rent a house somewhere or a cabin somewhere, maybe in the inner part of California. I'll share more about that with you in a minute, okay? Then God showed me a vision of another time. I was asking for confirmation to that vision, but He decided to talk about something else. He decided to show me what the two bodies of water would look like for the flooding on the west and the east coast. I had one vision on the left of a body of water, and then I had a vision on the right of a body of water. Both bodies of water had lifeboats on them with people in them, okay? Now, the left represents the left side of the map, California. The right represents the flooding that we're going to have on the east coast, all right? The lifeboat with the people in it, it didn't have a motor, with the few people in it that were in the lifeboat on the left, which represents the west coast flooding, the water was very high and choppy, like tsunami-like, okay? So I'm not saying there's going to be a tsunami, but if the bomb hits the ocean floor shy of the ocean, like God showed me, and it does miss the mark, it could do damage to the ocean floor and cause that tsunami-like shift to come and to bring the water up, thus causing the damage. And so this boat that I saw with the choppy water, it didn't look like it had enough power to get over the actual wave before it capsized. So God is saying that the water on the west coast is going to be much more traumatic and much more rough and much more, water's devastating, period, but it's going to be much more dramatic than it is going to be on the east coast. On the east coast, I saw a boat with some imagery, people in it, same type of boat, like a wooden rowboat, okay? Both boats were wooden rowboats, and the water was more like river flooding, like smoother, calmer water. There wasn't many waves, but they had that look that still major high flooding, but it wasn't like the west coast vision side body of water. And so the water on the West Coast it's going to be much more traumatic. Both are going to do extensive damage. Both are going to take lives. Both are going to devastate, parts of the economy and homes and things of that nature. However, I'm just letting you know, the water on the East Coast came in, was more subdued and river-like flooding and calm water than was on the West Coast, okay? So after God showed me that, He showed me a vision a couple of days later. I was still praying about the confirmation of the mall, and He showed me a vision of a shoe store. And I saw the shoe store. It was on a little strip mall, and the strip mall, all the stores to the right of the shoe store and to the left of the shoe store were closed. Okay, so there we have again, things around here close right around 10 o'clock, okay? But the shoe store, the light was bright, it was on, it was open. I knew it had about, I knew it had hundreds of pairs of shoes in there. And I'm talking about 1,500 to, it just had a lot of shoes in there, okay? So I said, Lord, and He gave me several visions after. I said, Lord, what are you saying? Here again we have the stores close roughly at 10 o'clock around here. Now I know if you're in New York, things stay on, stay open all the time. Okay, so you're not going to have the interpretation to my vision. God speaks in my symbolic language. I don't live in New York where things go constantly, So He's given me a time based on what's going on around where I live and things that I associate with. So once again, I see, all these stores closed, but there's one store that has the lights on, and it's a shoe store. So here again we have, and once again, this, not only did the mall from where I live at, does the mall sit northwest of where I'm at, in the area I live in, but this, in the vision, this shoe store was also northwest, okay? So we're talking about Northwest California or California West Coast, okay? That bomb that I saw come in that just missed shy of the coast. Now I want to say this, God in that vision could have just been letting me see the bomb come from that way, so I would associate it with North Korea, or my husband would figure it out. I have some people who are friends at my church, and this man and his wife, and I told you they are high up in Nassau, and he did share with me, or his wife shared with me, that they have been watching North Korea. And if North Korea shot a bomb at us, they believe it will come by the way of Alaska, and that the military is prepared to shoot it down. However, that could happen. It could come by way of Alaska, and God could have just been letting me see it come from that area, so I would associate, North Korea, okay, to be able to get to the bottom of where it's coming from. Or it could literally come from that area, because maybe they want to outsmart Nassau and make them think it's going to come from Alaska. I don't know, by way of Alaska. So, we'll see. But, so I see the shoe store, okay? So once again, everything closed except for the shoe store. Now, in real life, a lot of people are in the dark about this except for the Christians that are listening to prophecy. So I believe that God is once again saying 10 o'clock, which is representing October, that we're good up until October. And I'm not saying He's saying it will, the war will start in October, because it was still peaceful in the vision. But there's a shoe store on. Well, on YouTube, at this particular time, there's like anywhere from 18 to 1900 subscribers, about the same amount of people who would wear shoes in the shoe store. And I believe God's shown me this shoe store because it's a play on the word shoe. Shoe. You people out there we're wanting to know when this is going to happen so we can know when to shoe, when to get out of town, right? So the stores were already closed, and I believe it represents 10 o'clock October, so we need to consider at that point, if you live in California, shoeing. Find some place, because we have our lights on, right? We're not in the dark. We know what's going on in the spirit realm. So try to find some place, a cabin or a campground or something that you can go to, have your car packed up. And I'm going to share with you where God said it was safe in just a second, okay? So I think from October on, we need to be prepared for what could possibly happen after October. Now, I know I shared with you before that I felt like it was going to happen in the summer months. Now, what I want to clarify, when I think of summertime, I just associate summertime with heat. I didn't mean to convey, and please forgive me, I didn't mean to convey that it would happen by September 30th, because that's when summertime ends. Here in the Virginia area where I live at, off of the East Coast, I'm about 15 miles off the East Coast. Recently, God moved me and my husband about 2 years ago. I used to live for 12 years, literally a block and a half from the ocean, 2 blocks from the ocean. And then I moved a little bit more inland, and then God moved us even further in. And so I believe God has showed me that where my house is at, we will be not affected by this. I'm about 15 miles off the coast. However, off of the East Coast. However, I'm still praying for confirmation on that. Okay, so the vision God gave me after letting you guys know in California where to go was He gave me a vision of a 3-lane interstate. So you've got 1 lane here. This is my left, but you're right. Okay, let me say, okay, you got a lane here on the left for you guys, then you got a middle lane, and then you got your right lane, right? I saw a car driving this way up north, okay? It was coming from south to north. I saw the car driving in the far left lane. It was driving, let's just pretend like this inside here is a lane, okay, in between my hands, okay? So I saw the car driving from south up to north. And at the bottom, right there as it was going north, it decided to get over into the middle lane. There was 1 more lane over here. It didn't get over, which this would be Nevada over there. So it went from the left lane to the middle lane. So I believe God is saying in California, because I'm praying about this, right? He's using the interstate, the 3-lane interstate, okay? Far left, coastal, and here's the ocean over here, okay? So this is the first lane. Middle lane is inter-California, interstate, inter-California, and then, yeah, am I doing this backwards? Anyway, you get it, okay? Let's just pretend like this is California, okay? And here's the ocean over here, right? And here's the coast right here, okay? Here's 1 lane, okay? Here's the middle of California, and here is Nevada, all right? Nevada's over here, so this is the 3rd lane. So the car went like this, and then it got over to the middle lane. So I believe God is saying all down the middle of California, you'll be safe. However, as we know, California has some in parts, right? Around Stockton is not too far from an area where the coast dips in. God showed me Stockton as not being safe. So you have to follow the coastline. Yeah, you have to, if the coastline goes in, all right, over here, all right. If the coastline goes in, then you have to go further over to the middle. All right, don't just go, you know, here's the end of California. So you have to go with the middle of the coastline, all right? Or go in the middle, follow around with the coastline. I'm sorry, guys. I should just do it my way, but I'm trying to do it so you guys can see the map. All right, so God is saying that if you're in California, if you're in the middle of California, you will be fine. Or if you're all the way over in the 3rd area, closer to Nevada, you'll be fine. But if you're in the first part, okay, if you're in that, just get on the atlas and just divide California into 3 equal spots and follow those lines all the way down the shape of the state. And even up to not just California, but up to Washington and Oregon. Okay, do that. You will know the zones that are safe for you depending on the way the coastline goes. Okay, so make sure you do that to figure out what city or state you live in. If you're in the middle part of California, the inter part, God is using the interstate as a play on being middle. Interstate of California, interstate of Oregon, interstate of Washington. You get it? God does this all the time with me, a play on words. So if you're interstate in the middle, you will be fine. But if you are, and you're a pastor or you have a ministry, you know, be ready to help and do whatever you can do to help those people who are going to be in a time of need that are still alive after this happens, okay? And so I want to share that with you. Now, God gave me a vision after that. I saw myself writing out the word stars. So there's a dip where LA's at, and then there's, when I'm writing stars, I believe it's the Hollywood Walk of Fame, okay? But it could be, I think of stars and associate stars with Beverly Hills, okay? So it could go all the way to the hills area. It depends on how close that area is, if it's in the middle lane. But I believe that the stars, whether it's the Walk of Fame or Beverly Hills, is going to be affected most definitely. So just make sure you're in that middle part of the interstate, whether you're in Washington, Oregon, or California. I'm not talking about the East Coast yet. God will give me revelation as that happens, but I am talking about for the West Coast, okay? So after I saw myself writing the word stars, like I said, I associate that with the Walk of Fame or Beverly Hills, okay? Let's see. There's a place on the map where there's Stockton, and God brought that to my attention. I think that's where the coastline goes in. Just because Stockton is in the middle, if you go up, it's not safe. Like I said, you have to follow around with the coastline. Stockton is going to get washed as well, okay? Let's see here. I'm still praying about the specific time. I believe what I'm giving you right now is we're safe up until October, and we need to look for anything after October. So like I said, the mall had been closed for a little while. Now I know I told you before that I felt like it was going to happen when it was warm outside. I don't know if I shared this with you, but in Virginia, I have some friends that got married in October. It was like a summer day, and it's like summer in October here. So summer for us doesn't end on September 30th. So I want to convey that I didn't mean to imply that it would happen in a summer calendar month, okay? I'm talking about when it's warm. Me and my husband went to Corolla, North Carolina, just this last Thanksgiving, and it was 75 degrees. The video is on my page. You can see it. We're out there having a picnic on the beach. We're hunting for sea glass, and it was beautiful. So literally this year, it was warm all the way up on a regular basis, probably to like October 30th, November the 5th, right in there. Then it got cool just a little bit, and then was warm for the summer, for the day of Thanksgiving and the day after. We never really had a true winter this year. So, you know, I'm talking about based off where I live and what my thoughts are. And so this girl, Cindy, that had a dream when the ashes from the bomb were outside and the flooding came in on her dream, she said it was warm outside. So, anyway, and she's on the East Coast as well. Literally, truly in real life. And so our weather is not very predictable. They say in Virginia, if you just hang around and the weather will change. What's that saying? If you want the weather to change, don't go anywhere, just hang around because it'll change, because it always does. All right, now many of you out there, I hope that helps people. I'm still praying for an exact specific time as far as maybe like a newspaper vision, North Korea strikes on such and such day, whatever. So I don't believe it will be right at October. I believe it'll be a little bit after October, maybe even November, end of November, could even be December. I don't know. I'm still praying about the exact time, but I believe that we'll be fine up until October, but in October we need to be making plans to to get off the coastline, okay? Now, I've been having some people mail me some dreams, and I'm going to share, since we're on this subject, a couple of dreams with you. I want to do a couple of interpretations, okay? Let's see. Greetings, Vonda. In 1986, this is from Gregory. Hi, Gregory. In 1986, I had a very vivid vision. Excuse me, Gregory, had a vision. You said, I was building in Hollywood, California. The building seemed to me to be a hotel. You said there was a sudden, tremendous earth-shaking disturbance. I believed it to be an earthquake. You said, as I was attempting to evacuate the building using the western stairwell, here we are, the western stairwell, right? Not the eastern stairwell, not the north stairwell, not the south stairwell, but the western stairwell. You said it was when the structure began to collapse. As a result, I fell against the wall, embracing myself for the total collapse of the building. So you're in this western stairwell, you feel the earth shaking, you're bracing yourself for the total collapse of the building because the floor and everything, the structure began to collapse. You said, but subsequent to the crash to the ground. However, you said this never happened. You said there never was a total collapse. The building was greatly tilted toward the ground, but the building did not crash all the way to the ground. Then I made my way to a nearby window and I looked outside. Just about all the land looking west, okay, that's the coastline, looking west, extending up to about a half a mile from Hollywood, California, was totally devastated and underwater. You said, I always understood the vision to be earthquake related, earthquake caused, devastation caused from the earthquake. You said, but after viewing your video on the soon coming North Korea attacks against the USA, I'm wondering now if this is what I saw and not an earthquake caused event. Okay, so as I said, Gregory, God, when he showed me the bomb hitting the ocean floor just shy of the coast, I believe that's going to disrupt the land, and that could be the shift that causes the building to tilt. Let's see here. You said, so I don't believe it is going to be an earthquake. I believe it's going to might feel like an earthquake, especially since Californians are so used to earthquakes anyway. But you know, the foundation of the building that you're in and what you're building. You said it felt like a hotel. You'd have to ask yourself, what does a hotel symbolize to you? It could represent, just you building a life there. Maybe you're in a time of transition in your life. A lot of times people stay at hotels when they're in transition, but you'd have to interpret that. But God's letting you know there's going to be some foundational issues and some damage, but there's not going to be a total collapse. Whether that represents your whole life and your finances or just literally your house, wherever it is that you live, only time will tell. But you do see the devastation. You see everything underwater. And so God is giving you a vision of this happening beforehand. And so yes, I do believe that this is going to be from a result of the attacks of North Korea. But God appears to be showing you that you're okay. Okay, there's damage, and the building's not going to collapse on you, or your home's not going to collapse on you, or your life is not going to collapse. Although you will see, and you will observe, and you will experience the devastation of others. But it appears that the life that you're building is going to be it's not going to be a total collapse for you. Okay, all right. And this is the last one I want to read today. Let's see. Hi, I have a dream. Dawn. I guess your name is Dawn. All right, Dawn. You said, let me just say this. I don't think I have your permission to read your dream. This next person is Anna. I don't see your consent statement, so I can't read your dream, but I can just say that you appear that you have seen similar things in your dream, Anna. But in your dream you do mention, can't read the dream, but you mentioned that you feel like you're going to be safe in your home. God's giving you a prophetic word of wisdom. He's letting you know that even though you're going to see everything go on in California, He's letting you know in your home you will be safe. In the dream you were safe in your home. And so God's letting you know ahead of time, in your home you'll be safe. I have no idea what part of California you live in. You guys, if you email me a dream about these things, you have to give me your consent form. Your dreams are your dreams and they're copyrighted as soon as you put them on email. It's called a poor man's copyright. So you have to fill out the response, automated response, and give me your consent if you want me to respond to you here, okay? I've kept y'all 30 minutes, didn't mean to keep you this long. I have a lot of things I need to do today. So y'all just be praying, and the more that I get and the more that God gives me, the more I'll come and share with you, okay? So I hope this helps you guys. If you're on the outer lane, outer part, equal part of California, make sure you're ready to get over to the middle. And just keep your ears open in the Spirit, and if you have anything that you can say that can encourage somebody else, feel free to do that, okay? God bless you.